Hello, and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I'm your host, Michael Kurland. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, Dougie Fresh. Douglas, how are you doing today?
We're doing awesome, Mike. How's it going out there?
It is great. It is great. 6 in a row. I'm sporting the Tom Terrific over here.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, the t-shirt jersey. That gets me going.
That's classy.
That's classy. Keep it classy, San Diego. So yeah, Mets just pulled off the second sweep in a row. They actually haven't lost. We might allow you back into Citi Field. We haven't lost since we recorded last week. So
I'm tentatively planning on going against the Marlins, I think, in a couple of Fridays. So we'll revisit though.
Yes, we'll revisit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of Mets to talk about today. But first and foremost, we want to know, what is Doug drinking today?
It's cracking. Back on the double IPA train for you guys. And Mikey, you remember Sono, South Norwalk?
I do.
Apparently there's a brewery there calling themselves Sono Brewery. And this is their double IPA. It's called the Water Street.
Very nice.
As you remember, that's the one goes by the bridge. And right. So yeah, a nice double IPA. I had one of these a week or two back, and I'm like, oh, I should have been drinking these all along. I've heard of these guys, but never really tried them. So
awesome.
So cheers, brother. This got a little sloppy on a Wednesday again with a double. So
hey, cheers.
Hey,
with my coconut water.
and cheers to the Mets. Ho hum. Another series win. In the last hour, we should say it is Wednesday, June 1st in the afternoon, and I was just updating the sheet. We're 35-17.
35-17. First place, New York Metropolitans. 10 games up at the June 1st mark. 11, because Atlanta has yet to play.
We've got these instant results for the four of you who will watch this in 6 days. So. Yeah, no, it's been great. You could say the schedule is whatever. They've been playing some bad teams, Phillies, but schedule, you play the games, right? And it's been another fun weekend. So I don't know if you want to get right into the Mets. We could. There's a lot going on in sports, but we just watched it, man. Thomas Nido 4 for 4. Everything's going right.
He wanted me to
everything.
He wanted me to eat a nice big shit burger after me taking his fucking batting stance to task last week.
Yeah, we kind of called him out. So
yes, we did. So yeah, I want to get into the Mets. I want to do some more deep dive stuff on this first place team. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about some more national stuff, because we got some playoffs coming down to the wire, right?
Great time of year. So.
Let's do some NBA first. Game 1 coming up Thursday night. Celtics versus the Warriors. How you feeling about that, Doug?
This is going to sound really stupid in a week or two, but and I'm not doing this because I like them. I've watched this team shut down a lot of really good scores in the first 3 rounds. Brooklyn, Philly, and you saw what they did to the Heat. Although the Heat were banged up. Shout out to the Heat. That was a hell of an effort by Butler, Adebayo, and crew. But that's what the Celtics do to you. They make you look overmatched, I think. So I'm going Celtics in 6, man. Call me crazy. You heard it here first. I have admittedly not checked to see what people are picking on this. Maybe that's my bad. I don't know how hot a take this is. I'm assuming the Warriors are big favorites though here, right?
I gotta think so. They got the pedigree. They've been here, done that before. Celtics is with this team hasn't been here with this rookie head coach. They do, but they got some talented individuals. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sure they're going to just throw him on Curry and let them battle all series long.
Right.
See who gets the better of that. And between Brown and Tatum, you got 2 nice young guys. Tatum's obviously been the guy in the playoffs, and sure if he can keep it up. But the Warriors are battle tested. I mean, they've all Clay, Draymond, and Steph have all done this before, right? So we'll see. We'll see how
we've
this
been here
shakes
before,
out.
but the Warriors better be ready to fight, man. Celtics aren't going to roll over, and I could see him getting in Steph's head. Again, call me crazy. But
Yeah, I'm going to leave the hot take to you on this. I'm not making any prediction because I couldn't hate this matchup any more than... And
I know.
Maybe if it was the Knicks, but they are so bad.
Yeah, dude, look, I'm trying to make the best of this situation. I understand. Like, no one really wants to see these teams, right? But
no.
At least no one from New York.
No one from New York. Yeah. No one from most of the country wants to see Boston or the Warriors at this point. But hey,
right.
We'll let them battle it out. Hopefully it goes 7, gives the viewing audience a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows and, some entertainment. Right?
Amen, brother. Amen.
And then we can put this terrible NBA season from a Brooklyn Nets perspective to bed, and we can start looking at the offseason very shortly. So, yay.
That's the fun stuff.
That's the fun stuff. And then we got some NHL playoffs. We have the conference finals. First Western Conference final, Game 1 was last night. Edmonton hit two grand slams to beat to beat Colorado 8-6.
Late 3 at the end from Edmonton. But.
Yeah. So
no. Colorado beat Edmonton, right? Or is that what you said?
I thought
the Avs won that.
I think I said that Edmonton won. Colorado, look at that. Look at that. I'm not drinking. I'm not even drinking. Look at that. So Colorado won. Colorado won with 2 grand slams over Edmonton last night. Yep. How are we feeling about that series?
I'm feeling regretful that I was watching the Mets last night and then kind of kept meaning to go back, and then I kind of passed out. When I did check, it was 7-4 with the immortal Mikko Koskinen in goal, so I should have known there would have been more fireworks. But again, this seems like if you're into hockey at all, this seems like must watch, and I'm going to make an effort to watch every single game of this series. Unlike the other one, which is just a world of pain for me and most Islander fans. But you got to love this. God, that Avs offense. A shout out to Devin Tays, obviously, but that whole squad against McDavid and Draisaitl and Evander. I mean, it's like watching guys tee off on NHL like 96 or something. I love it. It's a throwback.
It's actually like watching Winning Time on HBO.
Boom. There you go.
With Jack McKinney installing the Showtime offense. Yeah, they're just running up and down the ice, and there's no defense. It's like the Dougie Weight days of hockey.
I know. It makes for entertaining. I don't know about you. I mean, we're kind of a trap team now with Lou, and unless you're on the winning side of that, that's miserable to watch. So, yeah. And great. By the way, great shout out to Winning Time. Did you finish that show? I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, and you were still working on it. But.
I'm still working on it. So the wife does not want to watch Winning Time, which I finally figured out, which is fine. So now I am, finding my picking my spots as to when Winning Time is.
Got some homework to do.
The right time. Yeah, so I'm halfway through. I watched an episode and a half last night. I saw the one where McKinney fell off of his bike and smashed his face, and then Paul Abdul came in with the dancers. I don't know how. I think that some of this is artistic rendition of what actually happened. Yes, Phil Knight trying to pitch Magic Johnson on the Nikes. But yeah, it's a great show. It brings me back to my younger NBA fandom. So you've heard about Jerry West all upset. If you're watching this and getting upset about the historical accuracy or whatever, find something else. It's McKay, right? Again, Adam McKay.
So
yep.
And it's interesting in how they have manufactured nostalgia in that, cut in with real nostalgic clips. It's interesting how they did that. It's kind of a fever dream of the 80s, and nostalgia sells right now, as we see in the box office and everywhere else. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'm not telling you it's gonna win awards, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and the casting's great.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Adam McKay and you like Step Brothers and you like John C. Reilly, I mean, the thing is, I just love the way it's filmed. I love how they cut away and talk to the camera, and that's a very Adam McKay-esque type thing.
Totally.
If you've ever seen, I think it was called Vice with Christian Bale. He did that movie as well. It was the Dick Cheney story with a.
I always meant to, but I never did.
I would never think that Dick Cheney's somewhat biography would be entertaining, but it's done by McKay, and
I'm sure
it was great.
I'm sure it is.
It's great. It's filmed very similarly to Winning Time, the whole way that they cut away, talk to the camera, and kind of give you some interesting background stuff that's going on. So it's but I do highly recommend Winning Time. I do think you're right. Nostalgia. And the one thing I kept finding myself asking myself last night is like, he's setting up the forum and the forum room and the Laker girls, and in the 80s, sex sold, right? That was everything. He spent so much time at the Playboy Mansion, and now you couldn't get away with any of that shit now. Like that,
no.
Those are days of yore. And
no, Disney bought up everything, and now it's family and stuff. But
I mean, and rightfully
for better or worse,
yeah, for better or for worse. I mean, rightfully so. I don't think it's a good thing to be objectifying women, and I don't think
not what I meant.
No, and I don't think that that's what you meant. But I also don't think the free flow of drugs back then with the cocaine.
Yeah.
And it looked like they introduced Freebase and Richard Pryor in one of the episodes.
They totally do, and they actually I don't know how far into it you are, but they take Spencer Haywood's story and do that like descent into drug madness thing, and it works. But again, like the acting's good. And I don't know how I feel about Jason Segel and Adrian Brody as Pat Riley. Segel as Westhead. I don't know. That was kind of jarring, but everything else is just a lot of fun. So
yeah, the cast is great. The cast is great. And shout out to Spencer Haywood. I think he's also a friend of Heartcast Media. So
hell yeah.
So we'll see what happens with the Avs Edmonton series. I think it's going to go 7. I think we're going to have some high scoring affairs. That's going to be great. And, then we got the fucking Eastern Conference Championship final, which I think is more of something I want to watch less than even the NBA final between Tampa and the Rangers. So let's talk about that, Dougie. Are you rooting for the Rangers because you want to see Tampa kicked out because you don't want them to three-peat, or are you rooting for Tampa because you can't root for the Rangers? Which one is it?
It's the $1 million question, right? It's everything us Islander fans are wrestling with right now.
Yep.
Couldn't be a worse conference finals.
Nope. I'd rather see the Penguins. I'd rather see the Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Oh, anyone but these two teams in this. No, and as you described in this situation, if it wasn't, the Lightning now have what? 8 plus. They have 11 series in a row. The Islanders had 19. No one's won 4 cups in a row since the Isles. I don't think anyone's won 4 championships in the U.S. I'm pretty solid that that's still correct. So, all that said, I'm a hater, man. I'm a Rangers hater. I cannot, and I have some very good Rangers friends, and they understand. I cannot root for that team. So I need Tampa Bay to dispatch them quick. I'm going to pick 5, Tampa in 5, even with the Rangers home ice. And then I need the Avs probably. I would pick the Avs in that other series to just stomp out Tampa, put an end to this, and then we can finally talk about the draft and trades and off season, as you mentioned with the NBA. I can't wait to get into NHL off season, but yeah, right now it's white knuckle time. Do you feel the same?
Yes, there has been no team that's won 4 in a row since the Isles on North American soil, on American soil. The Oilers obviously won 4 in a row right after the Isles did.
I don't think they did. I think the Flames messed that up.
Am I messing up twice now on this show?
No. I mean, that's a hard one, though. I'm going to check on that while you talk. But
yeah, so as a New York Islanders fan and as a New York sports fan, there is no team that I hate more in the New York metropolitan area than the New York Rangers. And I think it's mostly because we're in the same division. We play them enough times back and forth every year. But it's even going to the games, when we were growing up, going to Nassau Coliseum and just having it being taken over by Rangers fans because we couldn't sport a decent team for very long,
No.
So
misery.
And I think that's where most of the rivalry is probably more in the stands than on the ice, right? But I just cannot bring myself to root for the Rangers.
I completely agree. 2 things real quick. When you and I were at that Mets game, there was a Rangers game going on. They kept giving updates every time they scored with the goddamn goal song. And that was by far the worst part of the night, even though the Mets lost, and it was like a miserable weather night. Second, when they even just show Ranger jerseys in the crowd, I have this visceral reaction. I'm like, nope, fuck off.
Yep.
Sorry, New York, not rallying around this cup run. In fact, it's extra annoying that the Islanders have did this twice, and here we are a year later, and the Rangers are in the same spot.
Yep. And to your point, I've been watching Daredevil on Marvel. Another cut to another show plug. I'm trying to catch up on that because it's. I mean, you're not into Marvel. I don't know why, but maybe one day we'll get you there, right? So
I'll get Normie pilled at some point. We're working on
it. So Daredevil's a show that Marvel actually sold to ABC and Netflix to produce, right? And now Disney's brought it back in house, which is interesting because they didn't have anything rated R for a long time, and then when they brought this back in house, they had to put a whole adult passcode thing so your kid can't view this if you don't want them to view it, because it's
as
pretty,
we said, it's not the 80s anymore,
right? And it's pretty dark, comic book stuff. There's some throat slicing, there's blood everywhere, there's fighting. Really? Yeah, there's some death in there. It was very not Disney, right? So they brought it back in house because I think they are gonna remake. There was 3 seasons of Daredevil and a bunch of other Defenders, which is I don't need to go down this whole Marvel rabbit hole for the audience's sake. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is I was watching an episode last night, and he's in a dry cleaner, and he's like walking around, and he's blind, and there's all these clothes hanging on the dry cleaning, rack or whatever, and there was a fucking Rangers jersey, and I was like, man, why the fuck why can't that be an Islanders jersey? Just
snaps you out of it, right?
Just pissed me off. Yeah, I'm like, come on,
it snaps you out of it. Same with the Mets, as I mentioned, the Mets game, the guys jumping around, and I love this McNeil dance, but they were doing it with a Rangers jersey on, and no bueno.
No bueno. No bueno. So hopefully Tampa,
I guess let's go Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, Tampa in 4.
Please.
To your point, I got a bunch of Rangers fans too, but unlike you, they don't understand, and they just want to talk shit to me every time the Rangers advance. And I'm like, I didn't even make the playoffs, dude. I don't need the updates. I see it on ESPN.
Yeah, fuck that. No, that's that. You get muted.
I'm not going to mute them. I'm just going to wait until Tampa hopefully stomps out the rest of their season, and then I'm going to send a bunch of highly obnoxious text messages to them to make sure that they know that I know that the Rangers.
Oh, dude, you're one of the best I know at that. So I have faith in you.
Thank you.
And I think I have faith in Tampa. I hate the vibes around the Rangers. That was a really nice win by them to come out and punch back against Carolina. Right? They were down 2-0. So and they have home ice for this somehow. I guess Tampa kind of took the regular season off. Yikes. But we're going to buckle in and look. This is why sports are great, right? It's not all a cakewalk. It's not all watching the Mets in 2022. So
no, and
go Tampa.
Go Tampa. And I think you did a great segue there to the New York Metropolitans, Douglas. So six straight victories since our last recording.
Yeah. First 2 series sweeps, by the way, which is hard to believe when you heard it, but
first 2 series sweeps of the season, and we did it against 2 division rivals who we've seen a lot this year. The last place Nats and the I want to say the third place Phillies, but they might be in 4th at this point. I don't know.
It's a mess. I thought the Marlins were better than they are, but yeah, they're way down there. Yeah, I mean Philly and Miami are basically in lockstep,
right?
And and the Braves, I don't know what they're doing. That's a hangover, I guess, hangover situation. And all of a sudden, we're 11 up.
11 games up on June 1st, Doug. So, we did a whole quarter season reminiscent last show, but let's talk about right now. We got, we got only 3 of our starters healthy. We got Trevor Williams finally pitching yesterday instead of Sapuki, which he looked great. Got through 5 innings, pitched some great ball. Peterson, thank God we got Peterson and Williams lined up against the Nats. And we're boarding a plane as we speak to fly to Los Angeles for a big 4-game set and a huge 11-game road trip on the West Coast against 3 really good teams.
Yeah, are you going to any of those?
I will be going to San Diego on Tuesday, so in 6 days. And then I'll be going to Anaheim on Friday. And it looks like we got Thor pitching.
Is that the Thor night? Nice.
It looks like it's going to be Thor. I mean, we're still a couple days out from that getting definitely confirmed, but it looks like it's Thor who pitched marvelously last night in the Bronx. So, yeah. So, how are you feeling going into this road trip? What's your thoughts?
How can you not feel great, man? It's I was doing the thing, and I know people tweeted this, so this isn't news, but like this is the best start since '88. 86, 88, and 2022. That's it. That's what we're talking about. We're partying like it's 1988. I might make that the title of this one. Everything's going right.
Yeah.
Even with the suspect staff. And I think I'll go out and predict that they're going to get exposed here and there on this trip. These are quality teams, and but man, this lineup can hit. And even the guys we were poking at, like Thomas Needham went 4-for-4 today. How about Nick Plummer? Shout out to Nick, right?
Dude.
I don't know if you watched that, but bam, first pitch.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw
Second
that.
deck.
And that was so needed at that time. But yes, Nick Plummer with 2 clutch home runs in the last couple of games. So
yeah, it's stuff like that. The last time they actually had a pretty great start in 2016. I kind of forgot about this, but the last time I remember them absolutely rolling over people like this is the end of 2015 when Cespedes showed up after the deadline.
Yep. And
you just couldn't get him out, and they were just mashing people. And of course they had that staff that was pretty ridiculous too. But so look, slightly different year this year. I think the lineup has just been carrying them. Pick any player you want. We can sing their praises at this point.
Yep.
Even Escobar hit a bomb last night. So,
yes, he did.
This is fun right now. You try to enjoy it, right? You try to savor it. There's going to be some downtimes. I was thinking about doing the whole division for the Via con Dios later, but no, let's not get cocky.
Yes, it's too early in the show for Via con Dios, Dougie. It's
I
too
know.
Early in the show.
I didn't spoil it, but I mean, that's how good things are right now, right? 11-game lead, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw this one, is the third largest division lead of any division in MLB history on May 31st.
I did not see that.
Just to put that in perspective.
But it's
third largest lead in history.
And who were the other 2 teams? Do you know?
One was the Astros a few years ago, and one was someone in like the 60s or 70s. I should have wrote it down.
And did both teams go on to win the World Series that year?
Oh no, you know who it was? I'm sorry. This one didn't, and it was in 2001. Can you name them?
Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the year that they had the huge lead, and then they ran into the Yankees. Correct?
That's right.
Yeah, look at that.
I think that was the Astros team that won, but we might want to check on that. I think it was 2017.
All right. Well, I guess that.
Oh, and by the way, Patrick Waugh and the Canadians fucked up the Edmonton run in the mid '80s. So they won 2, then they lost, and they won 2 again, and then the Flames beat them. So
still the only team.
4.
I'll drink for that.
That's
then.
right.
I'll drink twice for that. So 11 games up, third largest lead in the history of baseball. I know it's our biggest lead ever on June 1st, right? And then 86 was the last time we had a lead as big as this going into June 1st, I believe. 88 and 2015 we also had leads, but right. I think 86 was the biggest. And so that was exciting to hear, right? Just starting to think about that.
Yeah, and back then, like 2 teams per league made the playoffs. If you go on Baseball Reference, they're 98% locked to be in the playoffs. I'm really trying to jinx stuff right now, but I don't think I can. And we're all Mets fans. We're all waiting for the pain, right?
I mean, we've already gotten the pain though. That's the crazy thing, Doug. We haven't seen one inning thrown from Jacob deGrom this year.
Not one.
Max is out for another six weeks, most likely. Yeah. So we're talking, like you said last show, August 1st, right? We're doing this with fucking David Peterson, Trevor Williams, Tyler McGill, and then Bassett, Carrasco, and Walker are pitching great. They're pitching great, and
Cookie with 5 more scoreless today.
Cookie with 5 more scoreless, had 5 walks today. If we're gonna nitpick, okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. yeah, we would like to get those walks done, because if you're going against a team not named the Nationals, those could probably haunt you a little bit more. But yeah, the team is looking great, man. The bats, and the other thing that we haven't really talked about is the first inning, man. We are jumping on teams. We're jumping on teams. I don't know how many games in a row we've scored first inning runs, and I don't know if we did this afternoon, but we definitely had a streak there where we were scoring in the first inning for like 5 or 6 games in a row.
I think you're right. We didn't score today, but I might as well look it up while you're talking. So
I'm pretty sure that we lead the league in first inning runs scored this year, and it just
that I know.
Yeah, we come out and we put points on the board. We put crooked numbers on the board in the first inning, and it just gives the team a little bit of breathing room, right? And they're playing so relaxed. You're
right. It helps the pitching so much, right? And let's give another shout out to another great Mets team now, 2006, one of my favorites. I'm sure one of your favorites too. Obviously awful ending, but I feel like they had the same kind of lineup that would just come out and really mess with you with Reyes and Beltran Wright and Delgado. All those guys. LaDuca was in there and had a great year. Sean Green, but it's not a fun lineup to deal with. And what's even more fun is that Buck doesn't run out the same lineup every day.
Nope.
It's always we had Canna went 4 for 5 in the leadoff spot the other night.
Yep.
You can just plug and play these guys, and it's all working. Shout out to Luis Guillorme, who just
hit 400 in the month of May.
Hit 400, got on base 3 more times today. I mean, an absolute just wizard in the field. And
he's batting over 350, right. And he started the year. I want to say he started the year like
for like
13
or something.
Yeah, and he shaved his beard, and now he's just raking with that.
I know,
with that awkward swing. He's just raking. He's just singles all over the place. But who cares?
A slap hitter. McNeil says, "Fuck your shift. I'm gonna hit it to the left side." And these teams aren't learning. They didn't miss Brandon Nimmo when he was down. They plugged in Nick Plummer. But 4 RBIs like the day after he hit that bomb, I believe. Poor Dom Smith, right? He's the only one who's missing out on this party.
Yeah, well, I think they sent him down. Hopefully he's going to get regular at bats every day. JD is now our DH full time. So let's talk about that a little bit, Doug. We got 51 games. We're 51 games away from 52 now with today's victory. We got about 50 games until the trade deadline. Right. We talked a little bit about this last week, but now with Dom going down, what are we thinking? What do we think we need here? Because I don't think we're going to be scared to pull the trigger, but I think there's, and let's talk about some realistic candidates. Because I think on offense, catcher and DH are definitely our 2 questionable spots. Escobar's swinging a little bit better now. JD mashes against lefties, not great against righties. No, that's incorrect. He mashes against righties.
I thought it was the same until I actually looked, and it's backwards. Yeah, he can't hit lefties for some reason.
Can't hit lefties. That's right.
Or at least this year.
And we got catchers hitting around 220 or less. So what are you thinking? I mean, look at the 2 teams we just played, and that's the reason I really bring this up. Is like you got the Nats just toiling along, and you got a guy like
I don't know what they're doing, man. I guess they're for sale, so they don't care.
They're for sale, so they don't care. That's what they're doing, and they're gonna deal away they're gonna have a fire sale at the end of this year. And
I guess other than Soto, the guy came out, the GM came out today and said they weren't dealing Juan Soto.
Oh, I mean,
take that word it's.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say? He's on the block for the next 50 days. Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully you can work out a contract with him, and if you can't, then you got to deal him, right? You don't do what Tavares, the Tavares thing, and let him stick around. You got to get proper return or some.
It still blows my mind that he's going to be unrestricted soon.
Yep.
Like what is happening? But hey, look. So like back to your question though. I think they still have to get a starter. If I'm being honest, I'm not counting on Jake this year. I know you might feel different. We're going to get Scherzer back, so that like we need at least one of those guys for the run. Just bank all the wins you can now. But if you can get someone like Montes or Luis Castillo threw a gem last night. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, he did.
I mean, I know we're banging the drums on these A's and Reds pitchers, but I mean, the way those franchises operate, they're going to be dealing guys. So Cohen's going to be a front and center, or Billy Epler, I should say.
Yeah,
who should get a lot of credit at this point. My God, for bringing in Marte, Canna. Again, we haven't mentioned all the guys who've been just doing so great. And we're on a high right now, obviously. And I hope we're doing episodes like this for the rest of the summer, because I hope we're repeating ourselves all year.
Yeah, it never gets old.
It doesn't.
So I will say, I think a guy, to your point, a pitcher or a DH, a couple guys from the Nats like Josh Bell, free agent, Nelson Cruz, free agent. Those guys you can bring in, probably get for Bell's going to cost you a little something. Cruz is probably going to be on the cheap side, professional DH.
I guess I'm not too worried, man, about the actual lineup.
No,
you know who's a name who might be able to come up and be JD Davis? Is Mark Vientos.
Yeah, talk to me about Vientos.
Why not? He's mashing in AAA. He basically has the same profile as JD. He's a right-handed hitter. He can play some third base. I don't know how great he is in the field at that position, and he can play some first as well, I hear. So you've got internal options, and I don't know. I would not trade a PCA right now for a big bat, is what I'm saying. I would not repeat maybe last year's mistake. I know you're not that high on PCA, but trading Armstrong for Baez, doesn't look great right now. So give me pitching, but and you want to pick up a guy like Nelson Cruz, sure. That's not going to cost you much.
Cool.
But yeah, man. How do you feel? Like, you're the GM. What are you doing?
If I'm the GM of this team, I'm definitely starting to look for a guy that can strengthen our bench, come in and hit lefties, and be a DH type, or at least a DH, fourth outfielder type. I think JD hasn't proven that he's hitting over the course of the year. He had that one good year. He's been okay since. But the other thing is, and not that now that we have the universal DH, we don't use the pinch hitter as much. But our bench, you're not bringing anyone off that bench to pinch hit anytime. And I guess I don't know how often we're going to use that. Besides Nito or Guillorme?
I'm bringing in. I mean, unless you're not getting a home run, but I'm bringing in Guillorme to pinch hit. Dude has like a 450 OPS on base.
So I don't know, man. If I'm the GM, I think we need someone that can.
That's fair.
And the other guys that I wanted to bring up were the guys on the Phillies, like Kyle Schwarber. He's on a 1-year deal. That guy rakes. He's playing left field for the Phillies right now, which is he's ill suited to do. If you need him in a pinch, sure. But that guy's a DH. I don't know how long Castellanos is signed for. I think he's got a longer deal. But Schwarber, he's got 1 year left on his deal as a rental. Come on. Yeah. I don't know if the Phillies are going to deal with us, but...
I'm laughing because I just want to make fun of how comical the Phillies are. When you're just watching them in the field.
That's been great.
It's just never ending.
It's been great. It's been
so much fun.
When we played them last week and Castellanos was playing right field, and we hit back-to-back pop-ups basically to right field, and he couldn't throw anybody out at home plate. That was comical.
Yep.
That was comical.
And I don't know if it was Schwarber, but someone screwed up in left field. It was Little League out there.
And you saw Gene Segura got injured yesterday. He's out for like 10 weeks. Oof. So more pain for the Phillies. Yes.
Hate to see that.
Yes. But I will.
And by the way, I'm glad they didn't listen to the FAN callers. We never hired Girardi. Because that's not looking that great right now.
They're already talking about firing him. And I don't know what difference that's going to make. I mean, that's all on the GM. He put together a team of DHs. You can't.
Yeah, that was bold. It was a bold move, Cotton.
Hey. And how do you think Bryce is feeling out there in right field for the next 10 years or so?
Oh, terrible, I hope.
Yeah. Enjoy
Although,
that.
He's got the fucking ring. We're working on that.
Yeah. Yep.
No. Oh, shit. He doesn't have the ring.
Yeah, I was just going to correct you on that, but I wanted to be sure. Yeah, he left the year before they got the ring. Drink.
I shall drink. No, he's not feeling good then.
Drink. No. He went for the money. Good job, Scotty B. So we're going out to LA. You said.
By the way, what about Conforto?
He's got
as your pickup.
I don't think he's coming back this year. He had shoulder surgery, right? So is he out for the year? I don't know.
Heard mixed things.
I don't know. I don't know when he's coming back. I don't think we want to touch that. I think
would you welcome him back or?
Sure. I mean, if he wants to come back and sign a minor league deal and try and rehab and get ready to go and if this all makes sense in terms of the timeline and he can be ready to go towards the end of the year playoffs as a guy off the bench, I'm willing to sign him to a minor league deal, but I'm not giving him anything more than that. And if he can prove himself, sure. But there's a plethora of guys out there that are going to become available at the trade deadline, and I think we can bolster ourselves pretty well going into August, September, October baseball.
Right. Like I'm not worried. As we went through the other week, there are a lot of bad teams this year.
A lot of bad teams, yes.
So the market's been great. So
let's talk more about this West Coast trip. You mentioned before you're not high on it. What do you think? Why do you say this?
Just because I'm a Mets fan and I have a hard time accepting, good things happening.
Right.
like when are we getting punched in the face, right? But look, LA's first in the West. You deal with them first. You've maybe seen them more than I have being out there. Any thoughts on their staff? I know Trey Turner is absolutely on fire.
I have paid zero attention to the Dodgers. I have Hulu with live sports, and the Dodgers station does not go on to Hulu. So you got to go out to the bars to watch the Dodgers around here, or you have to have their cable package.
Not to get off on another tangent, because MLB is such a disaster between that and the blackouts.
I mean, they're still stuck in. They were talking about the 80s before. They're still stuck in the 80s.
Right.
But
exactly.
I believe the NFL also blacks out the local game. Oh, no, they only do it if it doesn't sell out, right? So
yeah, but local is like 3 states over for MLB. There was the guy, Michael Mayer on Twitter, a big Mets fan, Metsmerized Online or something. He was in Maine, and they said he was blacked out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, doesn't Rosen get blacked out in upstate Connecticut, which is Red Sox territory? Yeah. Nightmare. Yeah. Anyway. So I haven't watched too many Dodger games, but they're the only team in the NL performing better than us right now, right? So, and their lineup is stacked, and their run differential. I mean, they've scored 100 more runs than they've given up, and that is pretty impressive through 50 games.
Yeah, that's a great stat right there. I mean, their Pythagorean win-loss is 36-13. This is a damn good team,
right?
Mookie Betts is all world, obviously, and Trey. Our old friend Justin Turner's still out there, although he's having kind of a down year, and our old friend Freddie Freeman we're going to see. So look, that's why I'm saying, I'm expecting a little bit of regression here.
Yeah,
please let me be wrong, but even if I'm right, we have an 11-game lead, dude. Just
right.
It's time to start to plan for later in the year, which you so eloquently brought up here. We should be looking at long-term targets at this point with an 11-game lead.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a big test for us. It's June. It's June, and we got the 2 top teams in the West back to back between the Dodgers and the Padres. 7 games, and that's really we're gonna see where we match up.
It's gonna be fun because it's low stakes, right?
Yeah.
Like if this goes south, okay, you brush yourself off, you fix it.
So. Let's talk about the end of this road trip, right? 11-game road trip. Let's talk about we got 4. What is it? 4 in LA, 3 in San Diego, and then another 4 in Anaheim.
Yeah.
What are you? If they come home, what's the record they come home? You're happy, and what's the record they come home? You're okay, and what's the record they come home? You're like.
I'm saying this just because historically, it just always feels like they never play well in San Diego or LA. I'm actually not too worried about Anaheim. I don't know if I should be, but
they were playing. They started off the season well. They have come back to earth now. They're trending at around a 500 team. They still have Trout and Ohtani and some decent pitching. They're not a pushover team.
but it's 4 games against LA, I believe.
It is starting tomorrow. They got they're flying cross country today and playing tomorrow night.
This is weak. This is not as spicy as my Celtics pick, but give me 6-5.
6-5 on this trip, and you're happy.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, and what if they come back 3-8?
It depends on what kind of 3-8. If they just forget how to hit, that's concerning. Because if the bats go cold, I hate to say, I love these guys, but this staff is not going to support. Can't support them for like a month or two of like the early 2015 Mets that just couldn't hit a lick. That's when you're going to see the Braves make a run on us if that happens. So if it's a bunch of like shootouts though, whatever, I'm going to shrug it off.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would love to see this series streak continue with the streak not continue, but I'd love to see us win all 3 of the series. I'd love to go 2 or split, win or split. So 6-5.
Basically 6-5.
Yeah, 6-5, like you said. Yeah, if we can go 6-5, I'm a happy guy. Anything below that, I guess 5-6, I would be fine with. Anything below 5 wins on this trip, and I'm going to be disappointed. To your point, and you circled.
But I'm not going to be freaking out.
No, I'm not going to be freaking out. It's still June. I don't think we're going to lose. Even if we went 3-8, I don't think we could lose 8 games in the standings. I think we could. No. We could lose a stronghold on where we're at. We could get down to 5 games, but I don't think that's what we want to come back at. Though I'd love to see us just 6-5 or 5-6 on this trip, and if we do better than 6-5, I'm feeling like
we're booking playoff tickets.
We're booking playoff tickets out here in LA. That'll be the next time you come out here, buddy.
That's right.
We can go to Chavez.
No, lock it in.
Lock it in. And, you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. So,
and if I'm allowed to go to City, we'll lock in some New York games too. We'll see.
Well, Dougie, what else you got today on these New York Metropolitans for me?
Mike, it's June 1st. Do you know what that means?
I do not. What does that mean?
It means that 10 years ago to this day, we went to Citi Field. I had to think about that. It wasn't Shea. Citi Field. And saw the first no-hitter in Mets history. I know we've mentioned this, but come on, it's the actual day of, right? How can we not mention it? So they had Johan on the broadcast last night. I'm sure you saw that. He's looking all right. He's looking good. He's looking like us. He's in his 40s and he's killing it. But look, I wasn't able to dig up the newspaper things that you sent me. Thank you for those. They're here somewhere. But I do have the program from that day.
I love it. John Neese.
It's the legendary John Neese. Neese and Easy is the topic. And this is back when they actually sold like full-ass magazines when you went to a baseball game. And for some reason we bought this, but I'm glad I did, man. And I don't know if you saw the lineup from that night posted. Oh, and by the way, this has the R.A. Dickey centerfold.
Nice.
Look at that shit.
I love it.
Slap that on the wall. So I don't know. Let's remember some dudes, man. Who was playing shortstop that night? Quick.
For the 2012 New York Mets.
I'll give you a hint. This was the year after Reyes left. Yeah, I know. If you get this, I'll be shocked.
Luis Lopez.
I great guess. Luis, I think, was in the 90s. Omar Quintanilla.
I remember that guy. Yeah, I remember that guy.
All right, who's the catcher?
Josh Tolley. Only reason I remember that is because they showed a picture of him and Johan last night, and Josh Tolley got fat. Oh, man. And fun fact, me and Johan share the exact same birthday. And I got to say...
Oh, is that right?
March 13th, 1979. And,
nice.
and Johan looked every bit of 43 last night, and I feel like I'm still trending on that 37 line, so I like it.
Yeah, I feel like he's like me. We're still like toiling away in the Northeast. We haven't done the LA jump yet.
Oh, get on it.
We got to. So, can you name the other 2 outfielders? We know Mike Baxter laid out for hell of a grab, and that was basically the end of his career. So, who else was in out there?
Ooh, 2012. Who else was in our outfield?
I will give you another hint. Beltran was obviously on the other team.
Right.
Might have actually gotten a hit that night, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, might have gotten a hit that night. I don't know, man. I'm drawing blanks all over the place here. Tell me.
I love how we're mentioning this guy for like the second or third time this season. The immortal Lucas Duda was in right field for some reason.
Okay.
And the immortal, and I keep saying immortal. I'm sorry, I've had a double IPA, but Kirk Neuenhuis.
Dude, I was gonna say Neuenhuis, but I couldn't remember.
Should have gone for it.
I should have gone for it. Damn it. Okay.
Can you go around the rest of the infield, or is this too much?
No, keep going. First base, 2012. We were not a great team in 2012, if I recall correctly.
Got out to a decent start, actually. I think when Johan threw this, they were like 7 or 8 games over.
Right, and then
but it went to shit.
He came crashing down because his arm fell off. Right. Who was our first baseman in 2012?
And by the way, this whole Mets era, I feel like they had the same season for like 5 years in a row. From
like
2010 to like 2014. It's like
I'm drawing like who was the first baseman? I have no idea.
This guy started out great and then had some weird injuries, including something called Valley Fever.
Oh, Ike Davis. That was a guy. That was a guy that Valley Fever is real, and you get it in Arizona. And my mom and her boyfriend have had it, and it's anyone that lives in Arizona for an extended period of time get it, and it can be as simple as nothing. And it can be as bad as what I got. What he got was the worst case scenario of it. So,
oh God! So it's like it's like the desert version of Lyme disease.
No. It's just like there's something in the air, and you can't not get it.
I just meant symptoms wise.
Anyway. I think his symptoms were more of partying, and I think that's why we traded him because he was a partier, and they didn't like that he was out drinking every night.
Oh, Ike! I thought you were talking about your mom's boyfriend. So.
Oh yeah, no. He has one beer, he has one fat tire, and he's done. He does not drink. My mom went hard left on people that drink too much after my dad. So
good job, Mel. Wait. So Ike was a partier? I don't remember this.
Well, Google it. Ike Davis had a party problem. He was one of the guys out too late, and I don't know. I don't know if it was Sandy came out at the time or someone came out and was just like, He's got a reputation. He's out too late. Doesn't get enough sleep.
Oh wow! He overlapped with Harvey, didn't he?
I believe so. So. I'm sure those two were doing fun things together after baseball games. So who would our second baseman have been in 2012?
Right.
I'm blank on all this, man. I must have blacked out all this.
This dude was a fucking solid player.
Second baseman.
And got even better once he left the Mets, kind of like Justin Turner. But not Justin Turner.
I was going to say, are you trying to trick me here? Second baseman for the Mets.
Oh, this is obvious. He you know what? That's too easy. I won't say it.
Where did he go after he left us?
Oh God, he went to the Nats.
Still blanking. Who was
I think he went to the Nats.
Who are we talking about?
Daniel Murphy, man.
Oh, that's right. Jesus Christ. And I think he went to the Rockies first, right? Didn't he sign like a long-term deal there? Yeah.
I remember being angry that he was on the Nats at some point. I'll have to look at that.
Yep.
And you just got third base left. Uh-oh.
I have no idea. I have no idea who our third
base is. Oh, come on. You know who plays third base.
No clue. Just put me out of my misery here.
I think you got to turn in that Mets cap, man. It's the captain, David Wright.
Yeah, you lost me. You lost me all the way through. Jesus Christ. What a lineup there. Besides Wright, there was nobody on that team.
We need this for Mike. He's not thinking straight.
Agreed. Well, it was a great night though, and that video that we played the other day on the episode was awesome.
Yeah, and guys, feel free to put it in again for this one because again, 10 years, hard to believe.
10 years. Great day. That was one of the very few good memories from that season and pretty much for some of the seasons to follow. So, Dougie, it's been great talking to you today.
Same here, man.
What do you got to say to the audience?
Oh, Philadelphia Phillies, vaya con Dios.
I love
You're done.
Yeah. You've been done. Yeah. Fuck Ben Franklin and fuck Joe Girardi. You guys,
I've seen enough.
Yep. Enjoy last place. All right, audience. Until next time.
Until next time.
Produced by Heartcast Media.